Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another PPL Season 2 interview. I am Goldoa Dragon, and I am joined here today with Addie, coach of the London Shockwave. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Addie. This is the first time I'm introducing myself clearly. It's not like, Goldoa and I have had like a ton of technical issues, but it's fine. We're all good. We're here now, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back in the PPL. And it's pretty good. I've seen all the other interviews, and everyone's like, Addison is going to win the league, and she's the person I'm scared of. River was even like, I'm terrified of Addison. And
Just
I was
as a
like,
human.
oh, yes, just as a human being, yeah. So I guess I'm scary. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here now, and hello.
I don't have to be
I look
scared
pretty
of you.
ratty. That's okay. I'm a rat.
I don't have to be scared of you. I'm not playing in this league, so that's fine.
That's true.
So yeah, we've obviously a ton of coach interviews have gone up already. There's sort of like a rhythm and a pattern to them. I'm sure people are getting a little bit bored. So Addie and I are just we're friends outside of Pokemon, outside of like Draft League specifically. So I'll ask her some questions, but we're mostly just gonna be hanging out today. Finishing out the coach interviews and giving you all a little bit more of maybe insight into just what content creators do in their spare time. Since, we both upload a lot of videos, and maybe you don't get a chance to see what that looks like for us just like hanging out as people. Because it's not scripted, right? But it's also not totally like genuine to like just who you are when you're just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, like, content creation, it's very strange. I actually just for the first time told my girlfriend of like now almost a year that I like make YouTube videos and Pokemon content, which is crazy, right? Like you'd be like, oh my god, like you're like you're a good player, like why do you not like brag about this or whatever? But there's this level of like, I don't know, there's this level of separation I hold between my actual life, playing like Draft League and doing online stuff, and as opposed to my day-to-day, but the two seep into each other quite frequently.
Well, sure. And I mean, I have the same thing. I have a lot of friends that I have not told that I make online creation, like online content. And if I do, I sort of make it vague sometimes. I don't tell them specifically like what it is.
Yeah.
I think there's just a stigma against
I play
playing
this thing, and people see this thing,
Yeah.
and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, and
surely.
I don't tell
know.
them like my username or anything like that. So,
No.
It's
Although it doesn't help that my username is Addison. So,
a little easier to find than mine.
A good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, it's fair.
But yeah, I agree. Like, there's definitely just this difference between who you interact with and how you interact with an online community versus how you interact in your day-to-day life. And I've had the privilege of meeting Addison in person. So for those who don't know, Addison, it's not really my story to tell, but she moved to London at one point a couple years back. But right before that, like the summer before you left, I happened to be taking a trip out towards where you lived, and I stopped by. We just like took a walk around the city. It was actually super nice, super fun to meet somebody from an online context in real life, and just a very different. I was, at least for me, the first. Like, you were the first person that I had met in the Pokemon community that I had met through the Pokemon community specifically online, and then actually met out in real life.
Well, I remember we also met each other in Boston, like. God, or is that doxing you? Sorry.
I don't live there anymore, so it's fine.
We met each other in Boston. God, this is probably like 2.5 years ago now, and that was the first time I had met you. We went to an aquarium together. That was super cool. But yeah, like, and then you came and saw me, so I went to where you were, and then you went to where I was in Michigan at the time. That's really cool. And yeah, to your point, it's just super cool how like the online things can like bleed into like real life shit. Like the whole reason I'm in London right now is because like Matt, aka Dr. Slacking, like the other someone else who's in the league right now, who's like one of my best friends in the world, encouraged me to move out here, and I visited him like back in 2019 and became like in love with the UK and wanted to go live here. So, and now I'm doing it, and like Draft League is the causation for that. If you peel the layers back, and if you really think about this league in general too, between other competitors, thinking about like Vepsis, thinking about Jack and Ellie, Mounte, like these are all people who I've met IRL now, and it definitely blurs the line of like, you know, online community versus just like community and people just people, yeah, I don't know. And just the other thing too is that just everyone in this league like knows each other, gets on with each other. Like it's probably the most exciting group of people like I could play a draft league with, just because of how close the personal connections are with people. And that's fucking awesome to be able to do that on a platform like this as well. Like that rules.
Yeah. And I think for people watching this, like, who are fans of the PPL channel, fans of you, fans of the other content creators that we've just mentioned, it can feel like a little bit daunting and a little bit like there's just this barrier between you as a viewer and then the person making the content. But I think one thing that we all, and I guess I'm speaking for every person in the league who's supporting the league, it's just like, be a friend, be friendly, be a good person, and like that's who we all want to hang out with. And the reason that it's exciting to be around these people is because they're all good, genuinely nice people, and it's like fun to hang out with that kind of person. So I think, you know, if you want to interact and you leave comments, like, people are going to respond to them and people are going to have fun with you, and like the content creators are not this unreachable like echelon above or anything like that. It's just that those are the people who are willing to take the time and happen to have the means to produce the content for you. And that's really it, like, if you really come down to it.
And it's so fascinating too, because like when I was asked to return, or I guess compete in season 1 of the PPL last summer, it was after I had gone on a hiatus pretty much since I had moved to London. So I had not been playing Mons for like maybe 7-8 months at this point. And you know, by one means or another, Jack convinced me to come back. He even bought me the game. He was like, I'll buy you the game, like, if you play. Like, I really want you in this season. I was like, fuck, sure. And I got back into it, and I did it kind of under the like presumption of like, you know, I'll just do it this one time, it'll be fun, there's some like cool people who I've never gotten the chance to play again, like draft league's now on the resurgence because of the whole new like timer thing. Like, I'll stick my foot in it for a little bit, just, you know, because I have the free time in the moment. And the one thing that I never really considered as a product of you know, for not to sound too like modest or anything, but like, you know, my channel blew up in PPL, as did everyone else's, as a product of like participating in it. And like, that was cool or whatever. I didn't really like care too much about it. What I did care about, that I didn't realize I would care about, that was like a tangible effect, is that like there's a lot of like people in the Pokemon community who are queer or femme or different in some way, and felt like they, you know, had some kind of like, you know, they saw some of themselves in me or something like that. And that's really cool. I didn't really like process that could be like an impact of like participating in a league that is so not just fun and exciting, but very, very big on like having good representation within its coach base as well. But the larger point here is that you know, I started like getting like all these amazing, awesome queer people, allies, etc., who were like interacting with my channel, and you know, it also came with its fair bit of, you know, hate and like really negative comments as well, and that's just, you know, the world you live in when you're someone like me or someone who's different, and that's okay. But the you know, tangible effect of it is that people were like, oh my god, you're amazing. And that's terrifying, because then there's all that pressure on you to be like really positive representation, like win games and things like that. But more importantly, like the big thing that I wanted to make like an effort to do is I wanted to be like, that's cool, I'm glad you're watching my videos, but like I'm a real person. So like, I'm gonna like open a Discord server for like, you know, queer and trans like draft league players. I'm gonna like, you know, try and like interact with like as many of the fan bases as I can. I'm going to try and do more live streams, because like I think it's so important to deconstruct this image that like there's some, you know, uninteractable figure that you're watching behind your screen, because that, to me, I think that dampens the importance of at least what PPL is trying to do in terms of like cast a variety of coaches within their lineup, and a variety of content creators as well. I think there's other leagues that you'll find that don't put as much focus in that, and that's too bad. Sorry, that was a rant, but here we are.
No, I'm just like, so it's kind of funny because
Hello.
I'm technically the interviewer, but on some level we didn't plan
I'm just
anything we were gonna
talking.
say, and just hearing from your perspective genuinely, and like as a friend but also as someone who is a fan in some level, like hearing from your perspective like in person and getting the chance to actually talk to you is it's exciting and it's fun, and just like it's eye-opening to me. I mean, I also a few years back also tried to open a server for members of the Draft League community who felt underrepresented, and make it a safe space and make it a place that they could come and feel comfortable and have tournaments and be represented in that way. So I
played in a tournament. It was awesome. It was so good.
Those tournaments were a blast. I've had no time recently, unfortunately, but maybe in the future they'll come back. But
in the future,
there's a chance. Not me plugging my channel in the middle of an interview of you on a different channel.
It's fine. I mean, it's fine. No, it's cool. I mean, like, but like, it's the point. Is like, there's those things are awesome. Like, we should strive to do more of those things.
Yeah, and I think from the perspective of somebody who is genuinely a friend and supporter of you, but not just you, like every person out there, every content creator out there who's like doing their best and just like being a positive influence in any way they can, like legitimately it is very important for everybody who has any voice at all to use it in a positive way. And I think Addison happens to have a very large platform, which is super exciting, and also a lot of success and like a lot of talent just innately. But even if you feel like you don't have the same level of talent, or even if you don't feel like you have the same platform to reach out on, if you have a friend who's saying something rude, or you have a parent who's confused or not like up to date on exactly where we're at with pronouns, with anything, like just giving them a positive sort of teaching moment as opposed to a very defensive aggressive moment could lead to a more positive outcome in the future. And I think just like little things like that, even if you don't feel like in this case you have the reach that some of these content creators do, that doesn't mean you can't make a positive impact. And ultimately just hearing that you've had that experience and had the opportunity to have that impact on a lot of people is really exciting and really eye-opening for me, just as somebody who's kind of yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that of course comes with the caveat that it's not one-sided. I feel like there's multiple people in the community who have influenced me in multiple ways and have it allowed me to become the person I am today, or allowed me to become the player that I am today, or the content creator that I am today. I think ultimately the one thing that we don't really acknowledge, at least out loud very often, as like a community, especially within like the YouTube Wi-Fi community, is that like oftentimes outside of the poke games of the world, it's like we don't do this for money, we don't do this for like some kind of notoriety or something like this. Like we do it as a community because we like each other, we enjoy making videos. It's a hobby for most of us, but at least for me, and I know the case for a lot of other people, and this doesn't necessarily have to be like an identitarian thing or a like something associated with like feeling a lack of a sense of like belonging. It could just be what it is that I think a lot of people use this platform, whether it be playing Pokemon, watching Pokemon, engaging on Discord servers, playing draft leagues, as an escape from random day-to-day life and things like that. And I think there's a lot of people in this world who maybe perceive that as strange or shameful or something like that, but at least I feel like I'm the prime example of someone who literally turned it into her entire life. Like now I live in London because I was playing Draft League. Now, like I got, and so many things come with that, like 20 IRL friendships and like, hundreds more. And like, I got my dissertation at the end of last like PPL season, and I wouldn't have gotten there if I my master's degree post my dissertation. I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't come to London. Like I wouldn't have like traveled to like Finland to meet Vepsis. Like that's incredible. like there's just all of these different like facets of community and the impact that community has, no matter what like the platform necessarily is, that I think it's just worth acknowledging. And like worth acknowledging that, you know, Mon's communities, as well as any other community in particular, really has the potential to create lasting friendships and effects. And I think the PPL is an amalgamation of those things. The fact that I've, you know, met like maybe a third of the league IRL, and, you know, as well as you, as well as other people on the analyst panel, and, you know, other people met other people. The fact that, you know, Jack and Ellie are like fucking engaged, like that's huge. There's just all these like fascinating elements to it. And I just encourage people to like really like reach out to other people and take that leap of faith and outreach, and just, you know, be kind to one another. Realize that we're all here, you know, whether it be as an escape or whether it be as a hobby or whether it be as anything else, it's crucial to you know that everyone should love each other, and that's cool. I don't know what I'm getting at, but hopefully I'm saying like positive things.
And I guess just I have to make a caveat. This is two friends just chatting, and well, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just.
This
talking.
is being edited by a third person who's also.
There's no agenda here. Like I'm not.
Yeah, like this may go up on the PPL channel. I have to make the claim that like technically we don't speak for the PPL if their admins say something different from the two of us. But I agree with everything you're saying, and the other thing I want to. What?
I don't know. I'm just saying we're like hijacking the PPL like format here. We're going for it. Like I don't fucking. What do you want me to say? Like my favorite Pokemon's Togekiss. Like my like, you know, I'm scared of playing Mountay. I think like, you know, I'm super stoked for Necrostevo to be back. Like there's all of these like different things that like, you know, I can say, and those things are all true. But you know, ultimately, you know, you've heard it from 17 other people.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And I think like. What I'm getting out of this, and I hope I'm not like overly paraphrasing what you're saying, but if you're here watching this video, it has not only been the two of us talking, but there's another person editing, another person uploading. It is a community of people already just to get this live, and you watching it are part of that community and part of that family. And the PPL is bigger than the coaches who are in it and the analysts who are, you know, like myself talking, and the editors and everything. It's so much bigger than that. And it's a huge community of people who come together to make something amazing happen. And just by watching this video, you are part of that community. And you have as much right, I guess. I feel weird about that word, but you have as much like freedom to speak out and say something to us, you know, leave a comment, message us, you know, in the Discord servers. You have as much freedom to do that as we do to talk to each other. And, you know, we want to respond to you. We want to be there and hang out with you. And, you know, Addison and I would not be friends if it wasn't for one of us, and I don't remember which one, reaching out at some point to the other one, you know, on Discord. And I think whether that was because we were assigned to do that because we happen to be facing in a league, whether that was because, you know, we were whatever, I don't actually remember the exact circumstance, but that's the thing. It's like how you start is not like, you know, how you send the first message isn't remembered. It's not this big scary thing. It can feel big and scary and daunting, but like just take that leap, and I promise like years down the line what you're going to remember is the friendships you make. It's not going to be that like terror of like, how did I say the right thing in the first moment, like how did I approach them the first time. Did like first impressions, especially from an online format, are not the be all end all.
That's right. I agree. I fully agree. Like I've made some of my closest friends in Draft League because either I've gone on a leap to reach out to them, or they've gone on a leap to reach out to me, and that's kind of just how the world works. I mean, that's how life works as well. So I mean, it's this in a way is just a microcosm of that, but obviously different in other important ways.
Yeah. But that's I think gonna do it.
I love you all. Like the Mons community rules. Like fucking, you're all great. Watch me like win the season. I'm gonna be really like, you know, like boom, like I'm gonna win, right? Maybe I don't know.
That was the message of this whole thing.
Everyone's like, she's scary. That's. Do I look scary? Am I scary?
I mean, you don't look scary, but you are very, very, very good at Pokemon. So maybe, you know, behind the screen, maybe you're a lot scarier. Like your team preview is a lot scarier than your actual like, appearance.
Just wait. Just wait.
But you know, that's gonna do it for us. Again, it's the last of the interviews going up, and I feel like if you just do the same thing 16 times, what's the point of watching, right? So
yeah, what's the point?
Let's take the platform, let's take the moment, and use it to do something different. And so hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you want more content like this, the only way that the PPL will know that you want that is if you comment and like and do all the things that you're supposed to do, right? That's what I'm supposed to say here. But it's true. Like the interaction is what tells the people behind the scenes that that's something that you want more of.
Just advocate for a weekly PPL Addison podcast, Addison Goldoa podcast.
Yeah,
like we'll make it work.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
Just talk about like I can talk about anything for like a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, okay. I'll come up with like 2 questions. One of them will get asked, and we'll be here for half an hour.
It's gonna be like an hour-long video. I'm gonna be talking about like why I think Deoxys speed is better than Dragapult, and I'm gonna have like 12 bullet points. It'll be great.
Anyway. Yeah, again, if you enjoy this kind of stuff and just like the conversations and the topics and the random chatter, again, reach out to us. We are here for it. This is how Addison and I interact. Like genuinely, every time we have to talk for something like an interview or something, we end up talking for like an hour afterwards, and it's just this. So
yeah, this is just us.
So if you want to talk to more, like hear more from us and see more like this, just like very off the cuff, just people hanging out, being real people. Tell us. That's how it works. But that said, technically that's not what this video was originally for. So I'm gonna ask you one final PPL question.
Okay. Yes. Hello.
and it's yeah. You've done a lot of the things that I think I would have asked you about anyway. But for people who are going to jump over to your channel and watch the London Shockwave, what are they actually gonna see?
Yeah, you're not gonna see what we just did. You're gonna see me probably being really silly and really good at the game, and I'm gonna win a lot of battles. I might win the season. I'll definitely make playoffs, and you're gonna what you're gonna witness in these first like 3 weeks of PPL is gonna be pure chaos, and like I'm so excited for you all to see it. But at the same time, it's gonna be informative. It's gonna be educational. I think a lot of people come to my channel because they want to get better at the game, and I like to think that I help enable that in some way, whether it's through my commentary or through interaction with you all, or just entertainment. I don't know. But yeah, you'll see me like playing games, and I'll be commentating them, and that's what a lot of other people will be doing. But you get to watch me do it, and I'm pretty cool. So that's what you get.
Go check out Addison and the London Shockwave in the description. Go check out all the coaches in the PPL this season. Keep your eyes peeled for more content. I don't know what's next. I don't know if the draft stream is the next thing going up on the PPL channel, or exactly what's coming down now that this is like the last.
I think it's the power rankings. They're gonna power rank the teams.
Okay, so power rankings are coming out soon. There's tons of analyst content that's coming out. So keep an eye out for that. And other than that, that's it, right? You're good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, great. Yeah.
See y'all. Bye.
Take care, everybody.